All right, so in this example, we're going to learn how to graph inequalities. So the way we graph inequalities is we have a whole bunch of different things that we look at. And so we're going to start by kind of making a T-chart. So that's the way we take notes. So T-chart. Ooh, it's kind of close to the problem. Let me move it down a little bit. Sorry about that. And we're going to put our work on the left and our steps on the right. So we're going to start. So the first step is to tell whether you have an open circle or a shaded circle. And so the way we tell is we look at the inequality symbol in the problem. So I'm going to circle it in a different color. So we look at the inequality symbol in the problem. And we learned in class today that if it's greater than or less than, it's a shaded circle, it's an open circle, because it does not include that number in your answer or in your solution. If it's only a shaded circle, if we have a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to, then we know that we're going to have a shaded circle as our answer, because that's going to make sure that our solution is included in our answer. So we know that we're going to have an open circle. And I'm just going to draw the open circle for now until I start pulling up my number line, which is actually going to be my next step. So the second step is going to be to create a number line. So we're going to create a number line here. And so the way we create a number line is we start off with arrows, and we make sure that our number line has both arrows going in both directions, because number lines never end. They go on and on and on forever. So you need those arrows there. And then we can tell that we can start creating and building our number line. So we're looking at the inequality y is greater than -8, and we say to ourselves, okay, what number are we going to put directly in the middle? And hopefully we realize that as we graph solutions to inequalities, the number we put in the middle should always be the number that comes after the inequality. So in this case, I'm going to shade it in red. I'll shade it in red. So, or I'll circle it, I should say, in red. So -8 is going to go in the middle. Then to the right, notice as to the right, we're approaching or getting closer to 0. So those numbers are going to be bigger. And then the numbers that come after -8, we're going to be moving further away from 0, so those numbers are going to get smaller. And then we talked earlier in step 1 about our open versus closed circle. We know that our circle is open, and when this open circle is going to be directly on -8. And then the last step is, or in this case, step 3 is to shade. And we shade either the left side or right side. And we shade, the way we know which side to shade is by substituting in numbers for our inequality at the top to seeing if it makes sense. So I'm going to rewrite my inequality here. My inequality is y is greater than -8. And then we say to ourselves, okay, I'm going to pick a number from, let's say, the left side. So -9 is the number that I'm going to pick. So is -9 greater than -8? So by plugging it in for y value, we can tell whether it makes our inequality true or false. Since it makes our inequality, in this case, false, because -9 is not greater than -8, we know that we can't shade in this -9 because it's not a solution to our inequality. So that means that we need to shade to the right. And that is how you graph inequalities.